Good morning to all of you. Today, what we are going to do is to go directly to the most important step for self-realization called Nidhi Dhyasan. As you know, there are 4 steps, fundamental steps of self-realization in Advaita Vedanta. They are called Shravan, Manan, Nidhi Dhyasan and Samadhi. Shravan means hearing from a competent and qualified Brahmanist Shrotriya teacher or guru about the fundamental identity and unity between the individual self and Brahman, the Supreme Self. That is Shravan. Manan is reflection, contemplation on the nuances and the deeper meaning of this unity between Jivatman and Paramatman, the individual self and Supreme Self. And third is Nidhi Dhyasan, that is profound Vedantic meditation, internalizing and imbibing on this identity of Jivatman and Paramatman. And finally, it's Samadhi. So today, for 10-12 minutes, we will go straight for Nidhi Dhyasan, and we will do Nidhi Dhyasan today on one of the Mahavakyas, great sentences of Upanishads, AyamatmaBrahman. This Atman is Brahman, this Atman is Supreme Self. AyamatmaBrahman. Which Atman? What is the nature of that Atman? We will take, though this Mahavakya AyamatmaBrahman is from Manduk Upanishad, but the same Mahavakya is there in Brihadaranyaka Upanishad with just one additional word, AyamatmaBrahman Sarvanubhu. That makes it so easy to understand and go directly in Samadhi. What is the meaning? AyamatmaBrahman Sarvanubhu. This Atman called Sakshi Chaitanya or Pratyek within myself, Sarvanubhu, that is perceiving, that is knowing. The meaning of Sarvanubhu means the perceiver of all, the knower of all, experiencer of all. Right now, right here, within me, my Sakshi Chaitanya, indwelling self, Sarvanubhu, alone is experiencing, perceiving and knowing everything, and that is ultimately and essentially none other than Supreme Self, the Brahman. Therefore, this Sakshi Chaitanya is essentially ultimately Brahman, the Supreme Reality, but only in association with this Upadhi, the Upadhi limiting adjuncts of body-mind complex. It's known as Sakshi, but once it is dissociated and freed from the Upadhis, this alone is Brahman, this alone is Paramatman, this is the Supreme Reality of yours, mine and everything else. So right now I will reveal and we will contemplate the meaning. Immediate self-realization. The God is not a far off, the Brahman is not a remote reality, it's immediate direct reality. We will see. AyamatmaBrahman Sarvanubhu. In my heart, that is my buddhi, within my buddhi, intellect, the light of consciousness, which is indwelling self of mind and which is witnessing consciousness, Sakshi Chaitanya, this alone is the real experiencer of all, knower of all, perceiver of all. The minds and the connected senses of perception are just outer instruments. They are not the perceiver. They are unconscious, inert. So whenever I see something, or my ears hear something, or my nose smells something, or tongue tastes something, or this touch of the skin, the sensation, the feeling, the perception of touch, all this is being illumined by none other than me, Sakshi Chaitanya, the perceiver. This right now, and this alone, AyamatmaBrahman, this Atman which is ever present. How am I speaking and how are you hearing? How is it possible to perceive, to know anything? It is because of the Atman ever present within me, as indwelling self. Go straight on that center, the innermost reality of yours. Now I'll go and you follow. This is the direct method of self-realization. AyamatmaBrahman sarvanabho. I am the one, I, the Sakshi Chaitanya, my Atman is the one who alone is perceiver of all, seer of all, knower of all. The Brihadaranyaka Upanishad, in Brihadaranyaka Upanishad, Maharishi Yagyavalkya instructs the disciple, there is no seer but he. He implies here the Sakshi Chaitanya, which essentially is Brahman, Paramatman. Indwelling self, which is Supreme Self, he implies that. He is indicating to the transcendent Brahman in the immanent, right now, right here. So, the meaning of this AyamatmaBrahman sarvanabho is this. There is no hearer but, we will paraphrase it. He says, there is no hearer but he. There is no perceiver but he. There is no experiencer or knower but he. What is the implication of this for me? There is no perceiver of anything or everything other than me, my Atman, and that is Paramatman. The hearer within me, perceiver within me, knower within me as my Atman, Sakshi Chaitanya, is verily that experiencer of everything, and thereby this is the supreme reality, this is the immutable, transcendental truth and substratum of the entire universe and beyond. I am that ultimate perceiver of everything, supreme knower of everything. I am the ultimate experiencer of everything. My Atma, myself, the pure consciousness within me is none other than that Paramatman Brahman, right now, right here, because I always experience, I always perceive, I always see through my senses, through my mind and intellect, so many things round the clock. That perceiver, that knower, that experiencer is my inner core, my reality, my supreme truth. That is Brahman, that is Paramatman, that I am. Contemplate on this AyamatmaBrahman. This Atman, this witnessing consciousness within me, which is perceiver of everything round the clock, that is Atman, that is Paramatman, that is Supreme Truth, that is beyond death and destruction, that is immortal, that is infinite ocean of unconditioned love and infinite bliss. That I am. AyamatmaBrahman. AyamatmaBrahman. I will go silent for a few minutes, and in this contemplation you will go for as long as you think, and you can 5 minutes, 10 minutes, half an hour, 1 hour, 2 hour, whatever is possible. The method is this only. Just think deeply that this Atman, which is perceiver and experiencer and knower of everything in me and in my life, each one of us do perceive, know and experience. That experience within, the knower within, that perceiver of all is one immutable eternal reality. That is called Atman, that is called pure consciousness, and right now with the individual it is called witnessing consciousness, Sakshi Chaitanya. And there is complete unity after the removal of ignorance in our Samadhi and Nididhyasana. So AyamatmaBrahman, AyamatmaBrahman. This Atman I am, and this Atman is supreme truth. This Atman is everything. Neha nanasti kinchana. The supreme truth, the Brahman is of the nature of eternal being, pure being, eternal existence, Sat. What is the nature of that Sat? The nature of Sat is pure consciousness, and Sat and Chit, the pure being and pure consciousness, are intrinsically, inherently infinitely blissful reservoir and ocean of infinite bliss. I am fulsome, I am wholesome, I am all of all, I am everything. I alone have projected myself, I the entire universe. I am Brahman. The entire universe is a projection of my own mind. It exists within me and it finally dissolves back in me. I am that Atman. Now I will go silent, I will fall still and just contemplate within for any period of time. AyamatmaBrahman. You can do it for any period of time. Chidananda Rupaha Shivoham Shivoham. You can take the help of this kind of mantra. Soham Shivoham.